Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today I will be doing a basic knowledge or basic information on computers and computer parts. So like say you want to get in and like build your own computer or something, this will give you like basic knowledge and understanding of what you'll need and what each part does, so that you will be able to understand and build and gather parts to build your own computer. So we will be using this website called PC Part Picker. In this website, you can get in here, go to PC Builder. You don't even have to create an account. It'll basically just set you up, gets you anything you need. It already has everything compatible, and you don't have to worry about it. We'll be just putting together a simple list, and I'll be doing an explanation for each piece. Starting with the CPU. Here in the CPU, we have different brands. Our two main brands, and really the two only brands, is AMD, which has Ryzen, and Intel, which has their cores. So basically there's really not big of a difference. Like Ryzen is known for their APUs, which is basically a like integrated graphics. You don't need a graphics card, but it's not as strong as a graphics card would be. We'll get on to what graphic cards are later in the video. But really right now, the best cards you can get are the Intels. Right here, these ones, because their new generations are the best ones you can get. So basically what this is the brain of your computer. This is what will like run all your softwares and everything. This will bring you, it's your memory, or not your memory, your brain. This is what it'll do all the thinking of the computer. Onto the CPU coolers. This is what cools down your brain. Your brain can't get overheated. If it gets overheated, it won't run very fast. These right here, there's tons and tons of different options. You can get these ones right here, which is you can get AIOs, which basically has water cooling things in it, that in water cooling it'll make your computer run less hot. You don't really need those unless you're getting a really high-end computer. Normally you just suggest go for like something like this right here. $40, really cheap, and it works great. Onto the motherboard. The motherboard, this is something that you can either get something that's really good and really expensive, or really cheap. These ones right here, they are what you put everything in. This is what controls each separate part and where each separate part is put into to connect each other all together. Come right here, this is just the top of the list. I'll select this one on here because it's compatible with our CPU, and we know that because this website will tell us that. Onto the memory or RAM. This right here is what is used to like kind of like your memory capacity, like how much stuff you can have open at the same time, like how many tabs or something you can have, how many applications you can have open. The more RAM you have, like you can have 16 gigabytes, you can have 32. The more you have, the more things you can have open. They come in all different colors from all different brands. You can get ones with RGB on them. You can get some without. Now, really, there's not much different between the brands. There's speed right here. The higher this number, the faster it'll be. There's DDR4, and they recently come out DDR5, but you shouldn't really get DDR5 because it's way too expensive right now. So we're just going to add this right here because it has 3200 speed and it's cheap. Onto the storage. Now for storage, this is where you get into a little bit technical kind of things. So storage is where just basically where you put all your games. It's like anything, like any games, anything that you download, all your videos, this is where all of it goes. But here, like when you're putting your computer together, you want to make sure you get an SSD like this. You could just get like one of these big 2 terabyte ones right here, and that's all you get here, but you could get more if you wanted to. There's not really any limit on how much storage you can get, just depending on your motherboard and your case. But right here you want to get an SSD so that you can boot up Windows and everything fast, and then you would want to get a hard drive to store all the rest of your videos and apps and games and stuff on it. On to the video cards. Here in the video cards, these are kind of like your eyes of your computer. They generate everything that you see. Your screen is generated by the video cards. If you didn't have these, they wouldn't pop up any colors or anything. These are what render all of that. You have all the new generations of stuff are the RTX 3000 series and the RX 6000 series. These are the top of the line best stuff that you get for like gaming and stuff, like heavy gaming. If you just want to get something that's just like average, everyday browsing, I wouldn't suggest getting anything more than a anything more than a 1050 Ti or anything like that. I'd suggest something under $100 because they're cheap. But if you're going for gaming, I wouldn't suggest anything less than a 3060 or 1660 because those are the intermediate line for gaming. They provide you all the fast speeds and everything. But you also let's just add this one right here, 3070 Ti, one of the new fast ones. But you also, here's this right here, our CPU. You can't get a slow one of these. I suggest if you're gonna run a 3000 series card, I suggest you get a i5 12600K or better if you're gonna get 3070. If you're getting anything more than a 3070, I suggest getting an i7. Because why that is because like your eyes can see as fast as they can, but it doesn't matter how fast your eyes can see if your brain isn't fast enough to keep up with your eyes. If you're seeing way faster with your eyes than your brain can process, then it's pointless. There's no point in having fast eyes. Same thing with graphics card. If your brain isn't fast enough for your graphics card, then what's the point of having it? You want to make sure that you have one of the higher end CPUs like the Core i9 or the Core i7 12th gen if you want to get one of the high-end 37 series graphics cards. But if you're just going for something a little less, you could work with an i5 or maybe not even an i3. They're not really fast enough. Or actually, I guess if you're going for intermediate gaming, it is like maybe a 1660 or something. But if you're going for like everyday browsing, you could get a i3. That'd be in about the perfect range. Now here's the case. The case kind of just puts it all together. You just throw all this stuff inside the case. Well, you don't really throw it all. It kind of has to build it in. You have all these different choices and options. You got Corsair. They make all these ones with and they got cool fans. They got ones like these. There's NZXT. They make cases like these. Kind of stick with the same case patterns. And then there's you can get to the cheaper ones that nobody's ever heard of. This one's a pretty popular one. There's lots of them. But for these, what you gotta make sure when your cases is that there's breathability in the front of them, because your computer will get hot. The components will get hot. You want to make sure that your fans can pull in fresh air from the outside and filter it into your computer so that you don't overheat your components and your components can run at their full capability without being throttled. So like this one, this one right here. This one has all those mesh stuff in the center, and it'll allow our fans to take in air and keep our components cooled. Going on to power supply. This provides power. There's nothing really else to address this. This is what gives your computer the power, and it takes energy from the wall to run your computer. See, now our PC Part Picker, it gives you an estimated wattage. Our estimated wattage for this is 604. Now, I personally like to get a little more than needed. I could 100% go on a 650 watt power supply, but I like to go a little bit more just in case for future upgrades and stuff. So looking at this one right here, let's find a better one. What other ones are there on here? Yeah, this one right here, this one will be good. This is a Corsair RM 2021. It is a 800 plus gold watt power supply, which that is like, there's different efficiency ratings. There's 80 plus, which is just your average standard crappy power supply. Your bronze, which is just a lower end. If you're getting like a small or low end computer, I suggest getting a bronze because you're not going to have that much power estimated. But if you're going for like a higher end gaming computer, I suggest getting a gold or platinum. This stuff, it ensures that your power supply will last a long time without having any problems. So I will go for a let's do 750 watt gold power supply. Oh, and there's also these right here. There's a Foley module and a non-module. A Foley module is all those little ports down there. You plug them in one by one, which I prefer and lots of other people prefer. But there's non-modular, which comes with all the cables already attached. Now all the cables already attached could be a good thing because then you don't have to go through all that organization and plugging them in. But it can also be a bad thing because it might not come with enough like storage ports or anything. So I suggest getting a full module one, unless you're going again with a bronze one and you're running a lower end computer. But I suggest a full module. Now, here's one that you don't really need. You have operating system. You don't really need these, or like these cards, these activation cards, because you can download the free version off of Google and you just run it. You just don't get like to change the background and stuff. But these basically, it's just like your Windows key. It'll let you run the full version of Windows and customize it. But if you don't have it, it's completely fine. It'll work exactly the same. You just can't customize your Windows. So like you'll have a normal Windows background and you can't like change colors of like app icons and stuff. So I'm not even gonna add that. Here we are in case fans. Now, some cases come with fans, but the case that I chose doesn't really come with fans. The case that I chose came with 2 black fans, and they're not really going to be enough to keep our computer at full maximum heat, especially with the parts that I have in it. So there's lots of cases fans. We have these ones right here, which are completely overpriced. Like, they're okay, but they're not that good. They're not worth $100. You can always look through and find cheaper ones like these ones right here. If you want RGB, you can get these ones right here for $60. The ones or these Arctic ones, these are really good fans. 5-pack for $35. I will add these ones since I don't really want RGB in this build. Now the cool thing about PC Part Picker is once you get your list put together, you can go up here and save it. Now, I don't want to save this since this is just a test one for a video, but you can save your parts list, and when you learn more, you can come back and make changes and adjustments to whatever you need. And then you can save it again, or you can even come up here and override your old one. And it's also like, it also shows you where you can get your best prices from. Like right here, it'll show you can get it better from Amazon, or you can even come in here and see price comparisons from all the different sellers. And for a little more explanation here, I'll give a little more explanation on the CPU, since I realized I didn't put much into that. Here on the CPU, there's 4 different CPUs. You have i3s right here. This is like your low end. This is if you were just gonna use it for internet browsing and like online shopping and stuff, and you're not gonna have like do much like anything on it. You're just gonna have like a just basic at-home computer to just run your everyday life. You get up to the i5. i5 is where you can start being more flexible. You could maybe get into some light gaming, light to moderate gaming, and without having any major issues. You still could run into a little bit of issues because still not the fastest, but it's faster than an i3 or Ryzen 3 because they have like the same specifications like i3, Ryzen 3, i5, Ryzen 5, i7, Ryzen 7, i9, Ryzen 9. But then you get up to the i7. i7 is where you're just there. There's not really anything more unless you just want that unnecessary amount of power, which is where you get up to the i9. Like there's no point for having that fast unless you're doing like heavy 3D rendering and stuff, or like stuff like that. But yeah, that's basically all you need to know about computers and the things and components for them. I hope this helped you, and you can maybe even put together your own list and go check over it. I do suggest that if you want other people's help, and like you want people to overlook your computer list and make sure that you're not getting some like put in something that's unnecessary or like what doesn't fit in there, I do suggest joining a Discord server like TechSource or Minus Tech Tips Discord server, and you can go in there and post your list and ask them what they think of it, and they will give you suggestions to help you make your list better and you're not wasting your money. I've learned a lot from being in those servers, and I hope you will too. I hope you enjoyed the video, and have a good day.